let's do this.
Varellin? Okay.
Devices.
I still got nothing here. Are we live?
Yeah, no, we have been for about 3 minutes while I was waiting for you guys to wrap that up.
I'll wrap up the whole fucking Bigfoot thing. I'll tell these people about it.
I should have just turned it on.
Like, just turn it on. And that's the best part of the show. Usually the minute before we start the show is the best comedy we got.
All right, now we're on.
See? Yeah, see? So, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to What the Feck, weekly question and answer show. We talk about some gear, we talk about some music stuff, we test out a few pedals, and I'm here with
Dylan.
Yes, and previous to this, we were talking about, and I don't know if anybody sees this in their feeds, but let me know if any of you guys have seen this. It's the AI-generated Bigfoot, like, stuff, and it's like Bigfoot has his own account doing Bigfoot shit in the woods. Please let me know if you guys have seen this, because it's ridiculous, because he's out there tweaking, and he's, like, on mushrooms and all this weird shit, and I was just telling these guys about it, and they're like, what? Let me know if any of you guys have seen this, because it's all over my feed now, and I think it's because I watched like 2 videos, and I'm like...
It'll be in our feeds now.
Now that you've talked about it enough, near our phones, yeah.
Yeah, near the phone. You guys will see it, and you're going to go, what? Who's making this shit? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, he's doing all sorts of drugs. He's freaked out. He's got animals.
Bigfoot. He's throwing you off the trail.
Yeah, he's like in a canoe, and he goes, I forgot my fishing gear, but I got my buddy Bald Eagle with me, and the eagle jumps out, flies, grabs a fish, brings it back. And he's tripping on mushrooms. It's crazy. The whole thing. This has nothing to do with music. I'm sorry. It's just goofy shit that's in my feed. So, and I'm sharing with you people. Yeah. See. Guess who? The only person that was with me on this is who?
Oh, Darrell.
Darrell.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. My counterpart.
Yeah.
My counterpart. Because, well, me and Darrell send each other a bunch of goofy shit videos all the time.
Yeah.
Like, just the stuff that, it's like...
Actually, it would be.
It's Gen X finds it funny because it's a little bit offensive, but we're not offended. And it's because it's goofy shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we send each other. You could probably see it in the...
It was a different time. It was the 90s.
Right, it's just stuff that we're like, that's funny. It's not necessarily appropriate, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And we're going to laugh, So, yeah, but he saw it. Yeah, it's Bigfoot and Yeti. So Yeti's in there, too.
Oh, okay, like his buddy.
And yeah, and sometimes they team up and get an effed up together and do goofy shit. Yeah, it's something, I don't know where these are coming from. But there's a lot of them.
Oh, that was the conversation.
Anyway.
It actually does tie into this, so we'll come full circle here. The uses of AI when it comes to, I guess, being creative, but mostly when it comes to music.
Yes.
Because, I was going to say, there's obviously arguments to be made for using AI for a few different things. Some of them are stupider than others. Some are great, obviously, if it's talking
Yetis.
Tripping
Yetis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my next album, Tripping Yetis.
Tripping Yetis, yeah.
That
actually,
yeah.
Actually, would be a good title. That or even a band name.
Yeah.
Tripping
Yetis.
But yeah, I think...
Never know what you're going to get here, folks. There's always little nuggets to take away.
But yeah, I figured it was... So yeah, the story you were telling us was a lady who... was a terminal illness, and she was basically using AI in order to kind of complete her album.
Well, she's a singer-songwriter.
Oh, singer, okay.
And was losing her voice to some...
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay.
And was able to continue her craft by using AI to fill in where she couldn't no longer sing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good use of...
If you're going to use it, yes, that's a great use. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of funny when you can use the with music. Like, I love it when they do the blending tunes, or like, if Judas Priest was yacht rock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
like those things. Like
I followed a TikTok of that.
Yeah, there's a dude, gray beard, black dude with a gray beard.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of the. I don't remember his name, but I follow him, and he does a lot of like, if Metallica was yacht rock. I think I've posted some of that stuff too.
Are they all yacht rock?
No,
More or
sometimes,
less, yeah,
but
yeah.
sometimes it's like different genres. So like,
Yeah.
if country, if Merle Haggard was Metallica,
Or,
and so you can, so there's like different.
Or like Gin and Juice as a country song.
Well, there is a pretty famous
That or I
Gin
think
and
he did-
Juice. There's a pretty famous Gin and Juice bluegrass tune. You know that, right?
I guess.
From the Gourds. So anybody that wants,
I do know the Gourds.
so the Gourds did Gin and Juice, and it's great. It's like straight up bluegrass, and no, it's right there with the original.
Oh, okay.
So you
okay.
don't even need AI.
Yeah, you don't. You just need talented
Well, that's
musicians.
what I was gonna say. Cause
But
the
that's
mashup, 'cause,
that's
like,
the other side of it.
Yeah, because the Bill McClintock dude that does those mashups, like his are like perfect. The guy that because he'll actually see if they're in the same key, and then he'll blend in other things. Like he's actually and if he doesn't have a track to use, he'll actually just play the shit himself
make it work.
to make it work. And so he's one of those ones where I'm like his is as good as it gets, but a lot of that AI stuff is actually pretty amazing when it comes to like you said, the hypotheticals, or when you give it the. Because I think there was one, did one where it was like, what if Kiss was an R&B band?
I mean, they weren't far off.
No, but it
They're
was just
not?
kind of, it was just kind of funny. Like it had, it gave them more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of. But yeah, it was pretty.
I love
funny.
that guy too. Like, have you seen the guy that does the Cartman voice and then sings?
Oh
the-
yes, yeah.
That guy's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sings everything as Cartman.
Yeah, that guy's actually
Yeah.
super, super talented doing other things, but like he's really good at doing that. Those voices
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
The internet is so.
It's a world of
Yeah.
wonder. It's a world of bullshit. There's a ton of
everyone's-
bullshit, but
yeah.
boy, is there some really fun stuff that's out there, and AI is making it like a lot more. Like you could just have an idea and throw it in, and there it is, and it's created.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't necessarily, unfortunately, all the fun stuff you can do. There's also a bunch of like pretty crappy stuff you can do too.
Well, yeah,
And
because
that
to me,
sucks.
like I would say the one that bugs me the most is definitely like overuse of like AI imagery, or like bands using it for like flyers for posters or even album covers. Because it's just like when you can look at it immediately and tell that it was made by AI, it's just it's like an immediate. I don't know.
I think there's some context because like we got a couple AI pictures for like some
well,
marketing
yeah, having
stuff,
like some fun.
but
yeah.
it's a cart with a bunch of musical gear in it.
Yeah.
Like so, some of there I think there's a place for it, but it doesn't need to be like everything. Like we still, but the fact that we can look at it and go, that's AI.
Yeah.
is good. You know what I mean? Like the human brain can still figure out that it's not real.
Well, yeah, that line is getting blurred though. Like,
Yeah, it's
like,
getting real
I would
close.
say, yeah, because like I've been very surprised. Like just the last 6 months has been unreal in terms of how
Another
how much
few
better
years,
that
it's
shit
gonna
has
be
gotten.
amazing.
Yeah.
Another few years, who
Yeah.
knows what we're gonna? It may be indistinguishable.
Well, yeah, because like the videos in particular are what startles me, because there's like a lot of people that that are gonna see that stuff and think it's real. It doesn't matter really what it is, but it's
Well,
like
there's
they're
some
gonna,
stuff I've looked at and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not real, but it
Right.
looks pretty close to being real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the only reason you kind of know it's like a reporter thing, but the only reason you know it's not real is because there's a giant squid coming out of the ocean. And you're like, well, that's
Yeah.
not possible.
Yeah.
That's not a real thing.
For you in your reality, apparently, but
It all-
that's the whole thing.
it
Is
all
like
depends on
everybody's
if you get those
if you
Yeti
can
mushrooms.
distinguish- Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Got them Yeti mushrooms, you might be able to see that.
If them Yeti shrooms kick in, you could see anything.
You're full. If you're at full peak, baby, you never know what's gonna happen. The ones that actually drive me nuts are the fake YouTube commercial videos. Have you ever seen those? Where
fake
you
what
could just
kind?
tell that their mouth.
Oh, yeah,
it's an
yeah,
actual
yeah.
person like standing there, but their mouth is
Yeah.
doing. It's not working right with what you're hearing. They're just trying to. It's just a fake video.
That or
that
like
they're
they're
trying to
moving
sell you
around,
something.
but like the angle and inflection of the mouth. Because honestly,
Yeah,
I
and it
forgot,
drives me
yeah.
nuts because I could see it like right away, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate these things.
Yeah, because I forgot what there's a term for that. Because like when they're doing a lot of graphic editing or anything for like movies and stuff, like all of those lip gestures, I forgot what the term is right off. But all of those lip gestures are the things that like they say most people clue into immediately. And so like that's the thing with like a lot of CG stuff is that they're trying to get that particular thing better and better because that's still like the one thing that most
can
people
see that right-
see
I
right
can see
away.
it
Like
right away.
if the lips are not doing the right inflections at the right time with the right letters, it's unnerving to people. So
The whole thing is kind of a little nuts.
Yeah.
But, you know, as far as being able to help somebody that like has a degenerate, you know what I'm saying, not a degenerate cousin,
if somebody has a degenerate
has
cousin,
a
you know, it could be really
degenerate
helpful.
son, you know, it's really good.
You get the AI in there, teach
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
a couple lessons or two.
Yeah, yeah. But it's kind of, it's nice when it's being able to be used like that. You know, it's just that unfortunately there's, you know, a huge fraction of people that are just gonna do some nefarious bullshit, too, which sucks.
Yes.
You know.
That or even just use it for dumb shit. Like I'm saying, like there's a lot, like for the things that are amazing that it can be used for, it's like that's 1 out of 100. Where, you know, the rest of the time it's people making just, like you said, dumb TikTok videos and shit.
Yeah, which is kind of fun.
Or misleading videos of, or whatever, you know, it's all kinds of things that end up getting into that. But yeah, like I said, I think when it comes to music, it's, even like with what you were saying, like having intuitive, like control stations for your DAW, like things like that, like that's a great use of that. That's more predictive, or like you said, machine learning, but either way, like those things are things where like, I feel like anybody that gets into that stuff to make that stuff, that's more of what they intend, is like all of those really helpful things that help you do things better or quicker and more efficiently. You know, those are the things that are nice. Whereas like doing the shit for you is a whole different thing.
Because like that MIDI controller thing is like it's a workflow thing. You never
Yeah,
have to like
yeah.
leave your creative zone to like map
Yeah.
this thing to the.
Well, and the better and quicker and more seamless your workflow is, usually the better results you're going to get. But
Well, you may not lose that like
yeah,
tinge.
that
of-
spark. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that creative thing was.
Because that is very fleeting.
Yes.
Can be. Or you're like, dude, I've done this where you're kind of like, you know, strumming along and doing come up with a thing and you're like, just throw some lyrics out there and you're like, wow, that was actually pretty good. And then instantly it's gone. Like
Yeah,
you
if
can't
you
remember
weren't
what you
recording it,
just
yeah.
It
said.
was brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I've done that a few times, just screwing around with some chords and playing with something, and then something comes out, and I go, oh, that was actually not bad. And then I'm like, I gotta write that down, and by the time I grab a pen and write it down, it's gone. Like
Yeah.
it's out of my mind, or I'm like, shit, you know. So it's always good to be recording if you're gonna be flirting
Yes.
around with that
Yeah.
stuff.
If you're being creative in any sense, it's good to record.
Yeah, and like you said, that fleeting moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you need is that one little thing, and
And you're up
you
and
don't want
running.
to. Yeah, you don't want to lose it because you're like, oh, I got to get this thing to sync properly or
Right.
map to the correct map point.
Or yeah, you got to reorganize all this shit so you can do this one little edit. Because that's what gets me is like when you're trying to edit shit and you got to do all this shit to do this one little thing, and then you're like, oh yeah, what was I working on? Like,
That's my
like, that's
that's
the thing,
my
yeah,
world.
it's like
that's,
it just
that's my life
yeah.
every day.
'Cause
What was
it's
I
like-
just doing?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
or like the thing that you wanted to do, like you lose sight of it, or even like you were saying, like you might have an idea in the moment of something to change, but by the time you have to get through all the shit to do it, you kind of forget exactly what it was that you had. You know, because like a lot of
Yeah,
that,
the rhythm might be like, okay,
Yeah.
you got this rhythm because you're in it, and then oh, let me go record a thing. Let me do this thing. Get the microphone set up,
yeah.
and
you're
then
like,
you
oh,
can't
well,
seem to get
yeah,
to that
yeah.
point.
What was
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
rhythm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't
exactly,
quite
yeah.
get there.
Yeah. Those are the ones that get me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very much in favor of, or honestly, like having a virtual assistant when you're trying to operate your DAW, like that would be a very cool thing. Like having something that is intuitively, or you could even like, you know, you're recording and you have, you say new take and it just sets up a new,
Yeah, that.
you just say what you want to do. It's listening and then it sets it up real quick and you start going like shit like that would be cool. But
I try to get Dave to be my virtual assistant, but
yeah,
he's just like, no, Dad.
Always
Can
laying
I get
down
some
on
food?
the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, exactly. Like, can I just get some food? I might have to poop.
he's
I
like,
don't
I
know.
was kind of thinking
Can you
you
let
maybe
me
let me
outside?
outside instead. But
Yeah, can you let me
yeah.
outside while you're doing this bullshit, whatever you're singing about?
He's like, hey, did you hear that? How about that? Did you hear that?
Oh, that's good.
Did
Well,
you guys see the new Helix thing?
Oh
Oh, the
no,
stadium?
So it's,
It's a bigger version of the other versions.
Even bigger, even more.
Yeah, it's It's
even more
sized.
Yeah, jumbo.
Oh, that would be the greatest. That should be April Fool's. They should do it. They should make the stadium sphere, and it's a ball, and just put it out on April 1st.
And it's a pedal board?
Yeah. See how it works? Because they got the stadium, then they put out the Helix sphere, and it's a ball, and then people would be like, "This is stupid." Be like, "Yeah, it's April 1st, buddy."
You do say that, but
But it could happen.
yeah, I'm like,
There's been times I've said stupid shit, and then next
well,
thing
I
you
was
know,
just kind of thinking because
I'm
like if
ordering
you
3
did
of
have
them.
something that you could like spin, that was a controller for your shit. That could be pretty interesting.
There is like a 3D
Yeah.
ball MIDI controller.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like something where you could control that and like just spin it to where you need shit. Like that would be.
So basically, a large mouse.
Yeah, but one of those like old, you know,
The old
big,
mice?
Yeah, with the big old like red orb thing.
The red knob on the side.
Yeah.
King. Roll.
There you go, Helix Disco Ball.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
And it also does some kind of projection. That could be cool.
Settle down, buddy. Nobody wants to see that on camera, okay?
It does seem pretty cool though. Like next generation of that
Yeah.
thing, all the
Yeah, I'll have to
all
check
the
it
bells
out.
and whistles are pretty on point.
Yeah.
They really listened to their customers.
Speaking of bells and whistles, we also got the dark glass,
Oh, the anagram.
the anagram. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
hopefully
that
we
thing's
can.
pretty cool.
yeah.
We're gonna try it, but there's a lot of,
There's a lot to learn, and I didn't want to just jump in blind on that one. So
and I'd just be like, whatever.
yeah, so we'll if we don't sell out of them before next Thursday, we'll do that one next Thursday.
So a couple other music things. Sly Stone passed away,
Oh, yep.
and
Oh, yeah.
also Brian Wilson.
Yeah, Brian Wilson. That one's a rough one.
Those are like legends. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're in their 80s, so
Well, yeah.
considering all they've done, that's a pretty solid run. It's just it's tough when you see some of the legends kind of go, because everybody's been playing Beach Boy stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is really
Well, yeah, because
good.
I mean he's era
Good
of-
Vibrations is. I was
Yeah.
watching a dude. He's like, there's like 14 key changes in that tune.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's,
Yeah, I was like, what? And he's going through all of them, and he's like, now this part goes and modulates over to here,
Yeah.
and he goes, when they do this modulation, they put a lot of reverb to kind of blend it. And I was like,
Well, and there's
holy shit, because I've never learned.
Well, and there's two
Yeah.
competing bass lines, one on each side. Like when you listen to it, like the way the bass line, because like they have a moment of crossover, but like there's two competing bass lines on either side of it. So another one of those ones where I'm like, how did he know? I mean, how did he know that was gonna work? Because like getting the musicians to do that's one thing, but like knowing internally that was gonna work is just
That's
Yeah.
genius shit.
yeah.
Which. I
Well,
do-
and he
I do
is.
not possess
Yeah, I mean he is. Yeah, because I mean he's kind of.
at all.
I mean, I can't really even think of anybody stateside that's in that same caliber for the era. I mean, he literally was like
Yeah, for at the
peak.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he was Paul McCartney's favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even, like I said, I can't even think for that era. I can't even think of anybody that on that same, that same level. So.
Like, I don't know which way it went, I can't remember, but we got Pet Sounds, or we got Sgt. Pepper's because of Pet Sounds, or...
No, I think it was the other. Yeah, Pet Sounds was sort of a response, but that was sort of the thing. Is like they kind of did that,
It's
but
all
then I would almost argue that like the next two albums they did because he got the leeway to do Pet Sounds was even better because it's like once he had that freedom, it was like a lot of his constraints were gone. Because I mean, at first when they were doing it, they were literally trying to appeal to a very distinct crowd, doing like this specific surf stuff.
Yeah.
And as it kind of expanded, like it just became, this whole other thing. Because I mean, a lot of that stuff is, like you said, Good Vibrations on its own is just unbelievable. Like every time you listen to it, you do.
it's
hear
an
something
amazing
new.
tune.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
you really kind
No,
of like
that's
headphone
incredible.
that shit. It's
Yeah.
like, this is cool. No, it's no Kokomo, but whatever,
What a great... And Terry makes a good point, that was all manually created.
Mhm.
I don't think AI is giving us Pet Sounds.
No.
No, and again, like
You
there's
still have to have that human element to
Yeah.
like.
well, and that's the
Well,
thing
like
is
a
like
group of
he's
humans.
Yeah.
one, and with him in particular, especially with like good vibrations in particular, like all of those things would be things that most humans would tell you never to do.
Right.
And he made it work, and not only did he make it work, it's incredible. So it's like, to me, that's where I like that's another element above just baseline human consciousness. Like that is literally what genius is I feel like when you get to a point where like it's hard for anybody to even fathom how they got there, that's when I'm like, that's the the good stuff.
Well, the thing is, AI would probably be like, you can't do that.
Right. Well, that's
And a
right.
human
Because
would-
like it
the
still
human would
operates.
go, "I'm
yeah.
doing it."
Yeah, it still operates within certain constraints or rules.
Yeah.
And like that's one where like he literally knew all of the rules, broke them, and still ended up with something that works perfectly. So. I think we actually had a few questions in there, so we could probably see if before we move on to
What is it?
anything
What
else.
Tim say? Had to jump in on chat to give Ike the stink face. That's what that is.
Oh, for the Kokomo comment.
Yeah. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
You know-
so Fred was asking any thoughts on the new Epiphone 1962-335 reissue?
The Epiphone.
Yeah.
There's a new reissue. We don't have it, so it's hard.
Yeah, I was just kind of hard to form an opinion on it. It
Yeah.
seems pretty cool, though. I mean, like honestly, most of what Epiphone's been doing in the last 2 years
Yeah.
has been pretty cool.
I think I find that
Yeah.
kind of more what Epiphone's been doing lately is more interesting than the Gibson stuff. But
Well,
that's my opinion.
yeah, they're trying to hit that. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, instead of dancing around Epiphone a more affordable version of Gibson, they're just directly going to the full boat, more or less. Other than, if you want something with like, the classic finish and all that stuff, then you gotta still go Gibson. But up until that, other than that, it's really not a massive deal. Because like a lot of that stuff, especially the Epis we've been getting, have been like quite a bit better than what was coming out for a stretch. Because I feel like there was a while with Epiphone stuff where like we were getting some where I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And like lately, the last few years, the ones that have been coming out that are made in like the last 5 years or so, have been way
Seem
better.
a bit more solid as far as
Yeah.
what I've tried here. Even like some of those SGs that have come through, kind of like, oh, this feels really good.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess unfortunately we don't have a lot to offer you on that specific one since we haven't gotten to play one.
Yeah, we're not a dealer for Epiphone.
Yeah.
But if anybody's looking for a Dragon Burst, Anaconda Burst, green thing, Les Paul.
The Les Paul.
We got
Iguana
one.
Burst.
Came
Is
in
that,
the other
yeah,
day.
it could
The
be an
Iguana
Iguana
Burst
Burst.
Access.
Pretty,
Yeah.
pretty amazing looking.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Greeny Burst, greeny. It's kind of got.
Oh, I think it actually literally was Iguana Burst.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would actually make more sense, I guess.
Iguana.
All right. Well, let's test some pedals.
Yeah,
Because
Speaking of
otherwise
green
we could.
things,
We
Yes.
should just do a podcasty thing and then do a separate pedal testy thing
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Because we can just go on for an hour about some bullshit.
Well, yeah, and it kind of, yeah.
If we did, I was gonna say meal prep.
We did some meal
If
prep.
we did some meal prep, we could sit here for hours. If we did some show prep, we could actually have converse for a while about some musicy things,
Yeah.
and then test.
Oh,
out
I
some
see what you're
pedals.
saying, like a full-on, like a legitimate podcast.
Yeah, like
versus-
for an
versus a
hour,
te-
and then
yeah,
we just
yeah.
go into like
Yeah.
testing stuff because
Yeah.
we end up going considerably into it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Well, yeah, because sometimes like the conversation does evolve into something pretty good. So, but anyway,
we
get
can
into
consider that at some point.
yeah, to get back into the pedals, the Focus, even though we have two Earthquakers on there, the Focus is LPD pedals. We ended up just getting a shipment from Lawrence, and the JMP79 and the Bedlum are both new or relatively new. I think has the Bedlum been out for like a year? Less than a year. I know that
I
the
don't
JMP
remember,
is
to
like
be
the
honest.
newest one. I thought the Bedlam had been out for just a little bit, but it's new to us, so we're testing it. The Bedlam is supposed to be going for a little bit more of that kind of Robin Ford Dumble Dumble in a box kind of sound. And then the JMP, which is the one I'm very excited about, is basically going for a straight Marshall JMP circuit. So it's kind of nice that he hit that one like right on the head. Because like the 87 and the 74 obviously kind of encapsulated most of that era, but like having the actual JMP is going to be pretty cool. So I'm curious to hear that one.
According to their website, it isn't just a pedal; it's a time machine.
Sweet.
Yeah. You instantly grow
Like
like chest
Dr.
hair, like
Hughes.
as soon as you hit it. 79 level chest hair.
Your hair like grows really.
Yeah.
That'd
Like
be great.
that,
That'd be
what
great.
was
I would
that?
love that
Yeah,
to
like-
happen again.
When they were making fun of Boston, and like every time it cuts to a person again, their hair gets longer. I can't remember if it was Fallon or if it was SNL, but like every time it would cut, their hair gets a little longer. All right, so yeah, let's get into it.
Terry says he thinks the Bedlum's been out for over a year at least.
I was gonna say, I think it's just been a year because Lawrence mentioned that they'd sold a certain amount in a year, so maybe it's been a little bit longer. But it seemed to indicate that it had been right about a year, maybe a little longer.
Well, let's give that shit a try.
Yeah. I think is your volume bottomed? Yeah.
Oh, go on, no, wake up.
Actually, it's
Oh,
not
no,
clipping.
wake
So.
up.
All right.
I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next.
Hey, there's Lawrence right there. Came out in April of 25.
Oh, okay, so I got it backwards. The Bedlum's the newest one. The JMP.
No, they're both pretty good.
Unless he meant April 24, but I don't know. But I'm sure they're gonna sound good, so.
Yeah, it sounds really good. What's that?
Ask Lawrence why.
Oh, yeah, Jacob has a question. Why is the Bedlam green, or what was the choice for it being green? Or was it just fun? It is a particularly nice green, by the way. Yeah. The little, like, cafe racer stripes, too. Yeah.
That does sound really, really good. Think of that like in a mix. The bass player just kind of laying in the back. Be all over that. I could hear that.
That's really good. did do it for the reason I was joking about earlier.
What is that?
Earlier I joked to Jacob that like he made it green to like piss off the Tube Screamer crowd, and so it's kind of funny that he actually put that in there.
Nice.
Just because, like, yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah.
So good. And lucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say Terry had a question. Is like, has Lawrence ever made anything that doesn't sound good to someone? I don't think so. Because I was just saying everything.
Every pedal we've played sounds.
Yeah, everything he puts out is well. And to me, it's one of those ones too that like I actually do love it when customers haven't heard of Lawrence. When they come in for, especially for like the Marshall stuff, because it's like as soon as they hear it, they're always like, "Holy shit, this like completely blows away anything else they've tried." But it's just nice because it's like there's a lot of brands that always get a lot of talk and a lot of, you know, attention, and I feel like his deserves a lot more. But it's always fun when you can like, you know, kind of break that and be like, this is the one you're probably gonna end up with. Like, go ahead and try all of them, obviously, but this one is just like objectively the better one. And I mean, especially like all of his Marshall circuits, all of his like, you know, like the Embers, all of that stuff's been great.
I got a couple.
Yeah.
I got a couple in the stash at home, that's for sure.
That thing sounds awesome.
Oh, are you playing the special? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured you
It's amazing the difference between this and that.
At least it's staying as well. I don't see if well, I don't have a doomy guitar right now, but
That's too big. There you go.
actually, yeah, we'll hear with a baritone real quick.
I'll take that.
Thank you. It was handy that was that close.
It's like, I think there's something right
Here, we'll make sure.
Yeah.
Get the boomstick.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to Flipside Music. Here's my commercial while you are doing the tuning things. While you are playing the tuning song, I will talk to people about our sale. There's no sale. We don't have a sale going on. Not yet.
Wait, what?
Soon enough, it'll be 4th of July.
So he said turn the mass all the way up. And that'll doom.
All the mass. Alright, if you want a tuner.
Yeah, I was like,
Let's
where's
take it
the...
for a little less. Yeah, there we go.
You got some...
It's weird. It's still kind of. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's.
Give it the preamp boost.
Oh, it's on.
It's on.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost a little. This is actually maybe B's a little too thick for it.
Magic germanium diodes. I might need one of these. After playing it, I might need one. No, I'm thinking of how that will sound on my telly.
Yeah.
And seeing that I listen to Robin Ford all day on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Just old YouTube concerts. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it feels a little funky with the baritone. Although honestly, I'm not as used to baritones. Like even though I play in the lower tuning, it always does throw me a bit. Anyway,
All right,
switch over.
Yeah, let's try.
We'll do the JMP next.
Make sure I'm in
Tune.
good.
Did he get to work with Robin personally?
That's a good question. I don't know. We'll find out here in a moment.
Did you get to work with Robin personally?
Yeah, here I might swap you again. Okay. Thank you. Bit toasty. Okay. Alright, now for some JMP.
Juicy.
Sounds really good. It's very crispy. You okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
You got water.
Like, let me see here. What do we got here?
So treble, mids, bass, presence, and then master is just volume that preamps the gain. And then we do have that bright switch, which I haven't toggled yet. So.
Let's go. A little bit of that. Yeah. I forgot.
There you go. You were almost there. You almost there.
I hate it when I do that. Like, I haven't played that in a bit. See, now I'm under pressure.
Yeah.
I think it sounds really good. All right, you ready?
Yep.
You still see me. We forgot the tape.
Sorry, what?
Can you turn that on?
Oh, yeah.
We're all getting a little toasty in here. Yeah, this thing sounds awesome. I'd like to hear this like wow.
Yes, like
Like if we
real
could
live.
just, I think, because obviously we've had like a normal, fairly normal
Yes.
volume level, but I think like if that was
Yeah, just
full-
like because it's like it doesn't even need to be like you could probably back the gain off if it was a little louder because it has a good like a really good dynamic kind of touch to it. Like you kind of. And that's a really like
yeah, you
good
can
range to it.
it's touch sensitive.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hit that 87 real quick.
Sure. Yeah, that one's always
We've done the
one we've
87
loved.
before, but
Yeah.
we got 2 minutes left, and so let's hit that real quick. And
More gain.
That's the quick taste of the 87. That's a killer pedal too, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of them are great. I am very happy with the JMP. Like it sounds like what I
Yeah.
was expecting. It's super clear though. That's one thing like I gotta say. Like even hearing it against the 87 now, like the clarity in the JMP is pretty interesting, and I really do like the touch.
I want to hear that louder.
Yeah.
So when we're done with this, we're gonna turn that up.
Yeah.
And then the Bedlum sounds awesome too. I think in a mix, like in a band setting, I could hear all that Robin Ford stuff. Like I can hear all that.
Well, and to that point, I gotta say, out of all the Dumble ones, because a lot of the Dumble ones tend to somewhat be real saturated and a little dark. That actually feels a little snappier.
There's a lot of
but
clarity in
yeah,
that.
it does like kind of the same thing, but without some of the flub. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. LPD pedals, you want one? Come get them at the shop.
Yes.
Either come in, online, whatever you need. All right. And Lawrence, thanks for hanging out with us. And thanks everybody else for hanging out with us too. Terry, good seeing you. Haven't seen you in a while.
yeah.
so
Thanks
it's
for
good.
popping in, Terry.
And Tim, we haven't seen you in a
And
while.
Tim, yeah.
So
And
and
Darrell.
then Darrell. We got David YT in here and Janice and everybody. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Go check out our friends over at Texas Toast Guitars, and then go check out Dylan Talks Tone, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.